Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight?
Aha!
Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at Canva.com.
You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find
You
it.
can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you.
Ooh.
Find your next ride at Autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning there, family. Hello. Welcome. It is 2:07 on 77 WABC. My name is TJ McCormick. This is Another Side of Midnight here from Midtown, live and local. Live. That is the best thing in the whole wide world to be doing. Talking to you this early in the morning on a Saturday morning. This is just the best. I love this relationship. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Call and be a part of the show at any given moment. Anything on your mind, whatever it is we're talking about, fantastic. If you've got a burning desire, if there's something that's a pebble in your shoe or burning a hole in your pocket, by all means, get in touch. I'm just back. Last night was the amazing WABC Radio Foundation gala celebrating 250 years of America, America's 250 year anniversary, birthday, kickoff, if you will. That's pretty much what it was. It was a kickoff to a year-long acknowledgement of this celebration, and boy, oh boy, it was like none other. I cannot believe I'm a part of this family, this organization, this group, this amazing bunch at 77 WABC. What an evening in Midtown Manhattan. Cousin Brucey emceeing, Mr. and Mrs. Katsimatidis, and Chad Lopez kicking off the evening, acknowledging everybody's hard work, and just the gathering. I think it was like 600 people in this amazing venue, one of the most beautiful venues, a former bank in Midtown Manhattan. You could not imagine. You'll have to go to @TJ McCormick, @TJ McCormick on Twitter, on X. There's an earlier post from last night where I posted a few photos, and just to give you an example, and it was the great Tunnel to Towers that was benefiting from this event, as well as the New York Police Athletic League and Shriners Children's Hospitals. Could not have more worthy beneficiaries of this evening, and what a way to benefit them. Lee Greenwood was there. Just amazing. All the personalities. I'm not going to start naming because I'll end up leaving out, but all the 77 WABC radio personalities were there, and just the camaraderie amongst the folks. And Cousin Brucey made a brilliant, wonderful point that a radio lifer like Cousin Brucey would get really, just as much as, if not more than anyone else. It's that a radio station and a broadcasting group like here at 77 WABC, clearly the gold standard, clearly number one all across America, which we are, which they announced. Just the industry leader on in every facet. But beyond the music and the talking into the microphone and the production and all of that, and I gotta say, until I got here and was able to be a part of an event like this last night, Cousin Brucey made a great point. He said it's about being involved in the community that you broadcast to. It's about touching the lives in more ways than just entertaining. It's about making a difference. It's about making the world a better place, making the community you broadcast to and within a better place. And he just completely, with that just sort of moment of explanation to the civilians in the room, the people who are not broadcasters, and the newcomer guys like me. I mean, I've been a fan of talk radio. I've been in show business for ages. I've been on TV. I've been in radio. But like now to be part of a regular rotation and in the family, not only did I come to understand it, but I felt it, and I was a part of it last evening, excuse me. And, what a thing to be a part of, to watch Mr. and Mrs. Katz just wrap their arms, take the arms of WABC and wrap them around this city. I had a better understanding last night than I ever had before of the impact and the profound role that 77 WABC, all the personalities, and Mr. and Mrs. Catsimatidis and Chad Lopez and everybody else here, the role they play. Again, it's not just the pushing the narrative and driving the politics and driving the conversation, and it's deeper than that. I think it's because, I don't know if it's a feeling. Be curious to talk to Mr. Katz about this sometime. But you wonder, is it, the man gives back and doesn't just take this golden jewel and make it better for himself. He made the station better for the entire community, arguably the entire world. If you take in the influence that WABC, Mr. Katz, and everybody here had on a few moments over the last couple of years, not the least of which, take a look at who's in Washington, D.C. right now. Making the world a better place. But taking this station, polishing it, making it better than it ever has been in its history, and taking what he reaps from what he has sown and putting it back into the community, back into the city, back into the metropolitan area, and saying thank you for being able to do all this hard work. I'm having a hard time articulating it, but it was really something else. It was really, really, really something else. And, just what a blessing. What a blessing to be a part of this group. So you're going to hear more about it, I'm sure, as the week goes on. And the shows roll out, beginning with Sid on Monday morning. But yes, you will hear, and probably Katz, I don't know if they're going to cover it on Sunday, but certainly as the week goes out, you'll hear more about it. It was an absolute unmitigated success, and brilliant to see these people in action. So anyway, good morning once again, gang. And, I am so happy to be with you. Had an interesting week. There's a bunch to talk about. And like I said, 1-800-848-9222. Whatever's on your mind, more so than most, Saturday mornings. I'm really curious, because it's been an interesting, busy week, on a few fronts and in a few places, around the world. And I'm kind of just I'm going to throw a dart at the board here and just say, we've got, first of all, I took my daughters to a concert last night, my 13-year-old and my 16-year-old, and two of their friends. I took them to, here into Manhattan to a concert, Tate McRae. Stunning young woman. She's originally a dancer. Now she's a pop artist. It's pop music. It's bubblegum pop. Everything she sings, she sounds like she's pouting. It's a daddy, daddy, daddy. It's this. It's it's okay. I'm okay. You know what? I know these songs because I drive my daughters to school. And well, now Millie drives us to school, but her name is Tate McRae. I believe she's from Canada. She's incredibly attractive young woman, 24, 25, 26. And it's bubblegum pop. And like I said, there's one song, I know a couple of them just because my daughters play them just constantly. But there's one where it's like, it's okay, I'm okay, you can have him anyway. It's okay, I'm okay, you can have him anyway. And everything sounds like her lips are like this. And it's a little disconcerting and it's a little sexy at the same time. It's I don't want to hear it, but play it a little louder. I'm not creepy daddy, but daddy thinks Tate might just have sang that last chorus to him. And, it's I don't want to say it's terrible music. It's catchy, poppy pop. It just is what it is. Every generation, every group of kids has their, and, I took them into the city, Thursday night. I took them to the show. And, I don't know where the dads are. My daughters went, the kids all dressed the part. Okay. Apparently Tate McRae, her getup is little like booty shorts. Again, I don't have much of an argument. Tate, McRae, wears these little tiny shorts. She wears them very well. As a professional wearer of shorts, she is like the Elon Musk of tiny short wearing. And, cut off t-shirt top. She wears like little football. It's genius. I gotta say, okay, it's genius. She takes like football jerseys and cuts them into like an eighth and then wears them. And wears them with like leopard print little tiny shorts. I regret to say that I avert my eyes after 15 minutes. I will look away. Anyway. So I bring the girls down. I park the car. I bring them over to Madison Square Garden, line them up, and I'm looking around. And now my daughters, they wore the outfits, okay? But the little short shorts on my daughters were not underpants, okay? They were little shorts. Because my daughters are classy teeny boppers. And they wore like crop tops, but not, there were no boobs, there was no cleavage. Well, maybe the 13-year-old tugged on her shirt once or twice, and I said, you leave that alone. But around us in the crowd were just dozens and dozens of girls too young to be wearing what they were wearing out in daylight. And I sound like an old man, but I am an old man and I know what old men think. I just told you what I think about Tate McRae. But she's like 26. She's playing a part. She's out there. She's on album covers. All right. And it is what it is. There's no way dads knew. There's no way. There has got to be a thing where moms are in cahoots with the kids. Moms have to be in cahoots with the daughters. for them to make it out the door dressed like that. And I mean, literally, there were, what would you say? How would you say the cleft of their bums? There were cheeks everywhere. Thank you. There were cheeks everywhere. And not the ones that grandma pinched. The ones that old men stare at. Not me, not when I'm on dad duty. But they were everywhere. There were butt cheeks everywhere, all throughout the 34th, the area of Madison Square Garden between 7th and 8th and 31st and 33rd. And I don't know how many colds were caught that night, even though it was pretty tepid. It did start to drizzle in the end of the evening. But anyway, I guess every generation has their complaints and their concerns, and they say, whatever happened to, and how did we get into this predicament, and where are the clothes, and I love that dress you're not wearing, and all that. But this is real and true. I have been there. I feel like I'm like writing about, Paul's letter to the Ephesians. I can tell you that I was there and I saw this, and it was true. There were, and I'm not talking, well, there was all ends of the spectrum. First of all, some of the moms were dressed like this. Some of the moms were dressed like this, which in some cases was greatly appreciated. In others, please never ever do that again. Just on behalf of all that is holy in the world, never ever again. And I think you know who you are at this point. But what really I found truly disconcerting was there were some truly young kids. There were some very young kids, like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids out in public. And in some cases, it was like a bathing suit. Or when you're talking in this context, underwear. So I don't know. I'm just saying, am I being overly, am I being Victorian here? Am I clutching my pearls and, still at the same time saying, well, when Tate does it, I'm all in because she's a 25-year-old Canadian, singer-dancer who does look phenomenal in these clothes that I'm describing. And, look, my girls, they did a cute version of it. That's one thing. There you go. Okay. I think I got there. My girls did not go into, well, it's because daddy took them, but my girls did not go into the city looking sexy. My 13-year-old was not sexy. Okay. She was covered. So yeah. So I don't know. Again, if I'm being overly sensitive, then, whatever. Now, along 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight. Along those lines, this healthy conversation about a beautiful, dare I say, very, very alluring, very sexy dancer, singer, recording artist, Tate McRae, sort of is a good entree to what I'll say is a return, I think, to embracing what this world really is all about and always has been in the good days. And that whole Sydney Sweeney thing, okay, remember about, 2 weeks ago, the beautiful actress, very buxomy, very alluring eyes, I think they're blue. She makes no bones about her curvatures and her money makers. And she gets out there and she goes for it and she goes for it. And American Eagle, the jean company, they're the ones, they did that ad that said Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. And all of a sudden the doofuses on the left were talking about, talking about Aryan racial superiority and white superiority and all this other poppycock. That's a fun word to say, especially when you put the emphasis on the poppycock. It's balderdash, I tell you. Anyway, this exactly what we knew was going to happen, happened. And I think it's proof that all of us normal people are right. And I mentioned this before, and there's a conversation coming up later with the comedian Ellen Karras, where I talk about, judging a book by its cover. And you know what? At least 7 times out of 10, we're right. You're right, and I'm right when we judge that book by its cover. That guy coming at you that you think, is he talking to himself? Is he nuts? Yes, talking to himself and he's nuts. This person talking to me right now, they're about to make a terrible mistake because they're kind of dim. They're not very smart. Boom! Here comes the mistake. You were right. They're not very smart. Very often, if not the majority of the time, we're right when we're judging that book by its cover. The times we're wrong makes for a fascinating conversation. Anyway, all the normal people, were right. You and I both knew when that Sydney Sweeney ad campaign dropped that American Eagle was going to blow up. And within very short order, we started hearing that their sales numbers certainly their stock prices went up. Well, in yesterday's post, we got it. American Eagle. Now here's the early days postmortem on this piece, on this ad campaign. American Eagle stock soared nearly 40%. Nearly 40% this past Thursday after the clothing chain credited a risque anti-woke, meaning normal. Anti-woke means normal. Normal ad campaign featuring Sydney Sweeney that really supercharged sales. Executives told Wall Street analysts that the campaign featuring Sydney Sweeney drove record traffic, unprecedented customer signups, because don't forget too, now you sign up to be a customer. Now you subscribe for emails and texts to get 10% off. They know where to find you, all this stuff. And yes, it was an old-fashioned sex sells philosophy. Sweeney, a quote, Sweeney is a winner. In just 6 weeks, the campaign has generated unprecedented new customer acquisition. Company stock skyrocketed 38% in one afternoon on the news of the huge numbers. Second quarter sales up 15%. And so there you go. I feel a tide turning back towards normal. Now, there are some signs in other places that we're not, and we'll talk about those as well. But that Sydney Sweeney campaign it's Angie Dickinson. It's Anne Margaret. It's Cindy Crawford. It's the girl, it's Fabio. It's Brad Pitt. It's the good-looking dude. It's John Travolta selling everything he sold when he was starring in commercials as a blue-eyed brunette dreamboat. It was everything that America and the world needs to embrace. A dose of healthy, alluring, attractive people is a good thing. And I'm talking all ages. All ages. It's okay to be human and normal. Normal human means I'm attracted to the opposite sex. 9 times out of 10, 7 times out of, what is it, 10% of the, I don't know. But it's not necessarily, it's not a hetero or gay thing. You know how many gay men line up and say, go nuts over Sydney Sweeney? Sydney Sweeney! You don't hear straight men saying Sydney Sweeney, but you hear gay men saying it. I've heard them. And they say it just like that. Now I go, Sydney Sweeney, goodness gracious. But you don't have to be a straight man to say that girl is gorgeous and those jeans are something and wow. straight women, gay men, straight men, gay women, especially gay women, know what they see. All right, Sandy, we're going to come to you in 1 minute. We're going to take a quick break. It's bottom of the hour. It's 2:30 a.m. here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. 1-800-848-9222. Am I just too old-fashioned about the pop music? Am I too old-fashioned about what kids are wearing? You know, I'm sitting here wearing a tuxedo and loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. I think, yeah, there's a video. I posted a video on, at TJ McCormick at Twitter, on X. So go take a look at that and you'll see my blue. I look like an Amish informal wear because my tuxedo shirt is blue. You'll see what I mean. Go take a look. All right. Give us a call. 1-800-848-9222 about mores and normal people. And am I too old fashioned? And are you too old fashioned? Am I behind the curve? Am I ahead of the curve? Curves. We're talking about curves. Talking about Sydney Sweeney. All of this adds up. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, 77 WABC. You don't hear straight men saying, Sydney Sweeney, but you hear gay men saying it. I've heard them. And they say it just like that. Now I go, Sydney Sweeney, goodness gracious. But you don't have to be a straight man to say that girl is gorgeous and those jeans are something and wow. Straight women, gay men, straight men, gay women, especially gay women, know what they see. All right, Sandy, we're going to come to you in 1 minute. We're going to take a quick break. It's bottom of the hour. It's 2:30 a.m. here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. 1-800-848-9222. Am I just too old-fashioned about the pop music? Am I too old-fashioned about what kids are wearing? You know, I'm sitting here wearing a tuxedo and loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. I think, yeah, there's a video. I posted a video on, at TJ McCormick at Twitter, on X. So go take a look at that and you'll see my blue. I look like an Amish informal wear because my tuxedo shirt is blue. You'll see what I mean. Go take a look. All right. Give us a call. 1-800-848-9222 about mores and normal people. And am I too old fashioned? And are you too old fashioned? Am I behind the curve? Am I ahead of the curve? Curves. We're talking about curves. Talking about Sydney Sweeney. All of this adds up. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, 77 WABC.
All night long. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
My wife is a bit like a frog, though. She's a bombshell, but she's a bit like a frog. She doesn't have a very long torso, but she's all leg. All leg, my wife. Just magnificent. Love my bombshell, my British bombshell. She walks in a room, looks like that, and then she talks. She's from Britain, so the accent. Oy. So I'm going to here you go. Ready? Okay. And in the break, I don't know if the guys saw me, but I grabbed my Sharpie and I just started scribbling away. And here were the names that came to mind. Okay? And I'm dying to know your crushes. Multi-generational, please hit me with it. Cause I got multi-generational crushes. And I'll even throw out a couple of dudes to get the ladies going and see if, not that they were my crushes, but dudes that I could see would be crushes for women's. Okay. So here you go. So we've got, and these are kind of, and I know I'm going to look up. I know I'm going to see Tony leaning in. Okay. Here we go. So these are a couple of my, multi-generational, and they're not completely mainstream. They're kind of, so I don't know if anybody remembers from the 70s and the 80s, mainly the 80s. I'm sorry, the 80s. The Landers sisters, Judy and Audrey Landers. One of them starred in BJ and the Bear. And a bunch of movies. Audrey and Judy Land. I think Audrey was in like Dallas or something like that, or like one of those. Okay. Now, a little bit back, certainly in the 70s. She came up in the 60s, and she still looks way cool at like almost 80 years old. Adrienne Barbeau. The name says it all. Barbeau. Goodness gracious. The dark hair, the way the smirk. She would smirk. Remember Cannonball Run? Cannonball Run. Goodness gracious. Farrah Fawcett, okay. I mean, that's just too classic. It's almost a given. It's almost not worth saying. But the Landers sisters, Adrienne Barbeau, Lola Falana. Somebody slap me silly. Lola Falana. So pretty, make you smack your mama and tell her to leave the house because I'm thinking about Lola Falana. Stunning. Dude-wise, I would imagine, okay, certainly Travolta, I think. I'm thinking about my wife. Richard Dreyfuss? No, I'm just kidding. Dreyfuss, for the intellectual, sexy people. What do they call those people? What kind of person is that?
Dorks.
Dorks. Sapiosexuals are people who are really turned on by a person's mind. Well, if your mind is 36, 25. Okay, let's get over to so who just knocked you out when you were a kid, or these days? Who just floats your boat and wraps your sandwich? Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Bill and I was saying Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Ding, 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 dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. Yes. Oh, I got one. That made me think Sinatra. Ding, dong, that live version of, I'm Getting Married in the Morning. Okay. A young, now she's crazy and just whatever. And she's like 100, so it doesn't count anymore. But, Shirley MacLaine. Definitely, you know, both the nods. You guys are so funny. I love you guys. Shirley MacLaine. And here is one I think that is a bit unique. Okay. Another Rat Pack one. You might have to Google this one, friends. A dancer, Juliette Prowse, Prowse. Juliette Prowse was a dancer back in the day and crossed over into acting. She did some commercials that were pretty. She did the commercial, I think, for Legs Pantyhose back in the 70s. Juliette Prowse was a stunner. She dated, I think she dated Frank. Juliette Prowse. Have a look-see. Anybody, you got a crush? You got someone that like none of us could even imagine? And you to this day, you're like, sexiest person I've ever seen in my life. I'll fight you if you think I'm wrong. 1-800-848-9222. Sandy in Brooklyn, you're on line one. Thanks for calling in and waiting. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Love your stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So, regarding what you were talking about, your daughters and the venue they were talking about,
yes.
You know, how they got dressed.
Yeah.
My opinion is you don't go out in public in your bedclothes. And that's not good. There's different venues to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
You go on a job interview, you wear a suit and a tie.
Yep.
You have to go work in in an engine factory. You wear your jeans and whatever. And there's certain things, but you go out in public not in your bedclothes.
Right.
Anyway, unless you're going to the beach.
Right. And
that's about it.
Exactly. And and even then, things have gotten a little bit even skimpier, I would say, in the last 2 or 3 years now. Some of the stuff that it really took a long time to work its way from like European beaches to, say, the Jersey Shore. Now there's the bikinis are on women are, and it's not just teenagers, it's moms that are basically saying, I'm tanning my entire rear end now. For some reason, there is a desperate need to have an entire rear end tanned now. Which again,
that's not for everybody. That's
nope,
for sure.
Not for everybody. And again, it's also yes, please.
Yeah, could I say something about Mondani?
By all means.
Just a little curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
He's always complaining about billionaires are no good, and billionaires are no good here and there, and he doesn't like billionaires. They said, well, let me look up the New York City budget, and that's like $115.9 billion for 26 fiscal year.
That's about that.
That's $1 billion budget. So why is he associating himself with that kind of a budget? Because like billionaires, he should go to Podunk, Iowa or something.
And Sandy, and let's also and thanks for calling in, Sandy. And let's not forget, Sandy. Hey, the guy is a multi-millionaire himself. He's the trophy son of a millionaire couple. And let's not forget, he was just over in Uganda celebrating his wedding at a multi-day feast festival, surrounded by armed guards who were wearing masks. Couple of things that he's looking to get rid of here in America. For all, rules for thee and not for me. 1-800-848-9222. Richie in Jersey, line 2. Good morning, Richie.
Hey, TJ, I used to call you about celebrities I meet, but this is some funny stories. I'm afraid to leave the house. I'm 70 years old.
You're 70.
I go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm standing in line with my lady friend.
Yeah.
And a young girl, kind of Indonesia looking, very petite, got the butt shorts on, but they're shiny.
Yeah.
They're shiny.
The shorts? Wait, Richie. The shorts or the butt cheeks? What's shiny?
The shorts were shiny.
Oh, the shorts are shiny. Okay.
Skin tight, and she had the butt cheeks.
Yeah.
With the slanty eyes, black hair, just like a perfect human being.
Right.
Now, I used to go to these chiller theater things they have every year with the celebrities get together. And it's one thing seeing a woman on the screen. This woman, Natasha Hendrich, in Species. It was the movie.
Yes.
Okay,
Henstridge,
now I see her, and she's tall, and I just blurted out, "What's it like being you?" I said to her, because she was so.
That's a legitimate question. To walk around, like you walk past a mirror and you see you, it's like, wow, I kind of think the same thing when I think about Brad Pitt. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just undeniably just, textbook handsome fella, and I think, my personality, if I looked like that, my dance card would have been filled since I was 4 years old.
I did the hedonism and the nude beaches. And I noticed one thing about the American girls. If they knew you were an American guy, they would cover up their chest right away.
Oh, really, 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 really? Oh, my God. You're saying that slightly lasciviously there, Richie. Thanks for calling, Richie. That's because, you know what? I'm sorry, Rich. I got to jump because I have a quarter of the hour break. But we got Mark and JR ready to go. Richie, it's always good to hear from you. I had to jump because of the break here. I'm sorry about that. When we come back, we'll talk to Mark and JR. The crushes are out there. I said the Landers sisters, Barbeau, and a couple for the ladies. I definitely think, you know what? I'm going to throw one out there. My wife says to this day, she'd run away with Dean Martin tomorrow. She would run away with Dean Martin tomorrow. Also for her, Lenny Kravitz. Are you going to go my way? She's like, yes, wherever that leads us. Goodbye, TJ. Goodbye, Millie. Goodbye, Trix. She wouldn't even say goodbye. She'd leave a note. She'd leave like a half-written note. It would say, guys, I have to... ... Yeah. And I'd say, what? And there'd be like a dreadlock on the floor. Go, oh, Lenny. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick on 77 WABC. We'll be right back.
All night long. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
And by the way, you know, we can talk about this, like talking about like pop music, bubblegum, and that was clearly not. I mean, he's a talented dude. He's got great instincts, Lenny Kravitz. But juxtapose where I took my daughter's Thursday night to this bubblegum pop Tate McRae. Monday night, I was at MetLife Stadium and I saw Oasis. And let me tell you, that was an amazing evening. And I'm coming at it like from their DNA. Again, if you're not familiar with Oasis, a couple of brothers from Manchester, England, started a band, Britpop rock, whatever you want to call it, but rock, clearly it's rock and roll. And it's brilliant and it's energetic but for me, it's the soul of these two guys, and they come from projects, they're council housing, council flats. They grew up in a council house. Their mom, single mom, drunk dad, violent guy, left the house, 3 boys, 2 of them start this band. And, you know, well, I'll ask the guys to play some Oasis as bumper music a little later in the show. We do that every once in a while. Let's get over to Mark in Pennsylvania. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, hi there.
Hey, hi there. I was you're talking about Lenny Kravitz. My daughter had the privilege of winning a contest from a big radio station, WDVE, in Pittsburgh, with 2 tickets to fly to California to be in a group of 8 people to listen to Lenny Kravitz when that American Woman song came out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was back in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter, you know, she's 42 now, but
she still thinks about it. She still talks about it.
Yeah. But I was going to mention and ask you, because and I try to figure and understand, and I have yet to do it. I've even called the Shriners. Okay. Now, I know they have these guys with purple hats that ride around on mini bikes and wreck them.
Right.
I was at a parade this year in the spring, and you know they wrecked and they hit into a girl. I've heard that happening to different.
They ran into. You mean they wreck their little parade cars?
Yeah, there's 4 of them going in circles. So
yeah, I know. They do their little routine. They do figure eights.
But I had mini bikes, and they had to let younger kids ride them in. Not the old men with the purple.
Yeah.
The old men can't ride them little things. Give them things that are bigger that they can ride.
Yeah, I guess it's a whole kitschy thing there, Mark. I guess, you know, if you're going to have a dude wearing a fez, and a tuxedo, says the guy wearing a tuxedo on the radio. Can you hear my bow tie, by the way? That's a beautiful silk bow tie. Go check me out on my Twitter. I look fabulous. Anyway, I don't know, Mark. I think it's the fez. I think it's the fez. And you see Fez, okay, we'll give him a goofy car, let him drive in circles. Junior in North New Jersey. Junior, sorry for the JR earlier. The fellas set me straight. Junior, good morning.
Hey, good morning, TJ. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for calling.
I'm only 37 years old, but I got quite an interesting list of crushes growing up.
I like you. Okay.
We'll start off with Pamela Anderson.
Boom. A winner in any generation.
Yeah, I had her poster above my bed all throughout my high school years.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a lot of homework done.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If you know what I mean. Oh, Salma Hayek. I think as highly rated as she is in terms of awareness, I think underrated because she doesn't come up and every time you talk about crushes and sex symbols and stuff. Yeah, Salma Hayek.
Gorgeous. Does not age.
No. Yeah. But one of them, it bugs me. The politics bugs me. Does that ever get in the way? That's another question for this conversation too. We're going to carry this on throughout the whole morning. Things don't end at the top of the hour. Junior, do the politics of any of these people ever bug you? Does it ever get in the way of, the business?
They do. There's certain people that have left the bad taste in my mouth that, I don't look at them the same way.
Right. But I'm sorry, go ahead with your list.
Like,
I'm interrupting your list. I'm sorry. Selma Hayek, Pamela Anderson, both classic, beautiful women.
Do you remember Danielle Fishel?
No. Give me the context. What TV show or movie?
Topanga from Boy Meets World.
You know what? Okay, that ages me out because and my daughters never watched Boy Meets World, but I know who you're talking about because I know somebody who supposedly looks like Topanga and everybody calls her Topanga. That's my only reference to Topanga.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey.
Very underrated. Yes. All I want oh, wow. Tony disagrees. No. Okay. Oh, you were shaking your head. No, Tony agrees. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He was shaking his head at something else. Mariah Carey. And you know what? Here's something trippy. There's a mom in my town who looks just like Mariah Carey. And she's an Italian girl. I'm telling you right now, it is beyond distracting. Every time my husband was NYPD. Great couple. I mean, everybody tells her that too. But
yeah, it's funny because I walked into a strip club at Passaic one time. I could have sworn she was on stage.
Oh, really? Wow, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she's got a look that I guess girls would go for, and try to recreate with the high ponytail and all that stuff. Wow. Yeah, boy, that's another one. That's another one that's not exactly like on everybody's list. I want to hear from the women, by the way. I want to hear from, because I don't want to come across like I'm doing some kind of like cigar club here, like just the dudes. That's why I'm throwing out my guys here. You know what I'm saying? And also classics. Burt Reynolds. You know who's a knockout dude? A knockout dude. A young Clint Eastwood. That was a good looking guy. That was a good looking dude. And my wife had a whole brand new crush on, I was watching The Great Escape and she went nuts for what's his name? Steve McQueen. She lost it for Steve McQueen. She goes, man, look at him riding that bike. Very quickly, let's get over to Gary in Inwood because you've got a great couple of entries into our list and then we got to take a break. Go ahead, Gary.
Good morning. I'll do this quickly, for your consideration.
Yeah.
Connie Selica.
For your consideration. Yes.
Connie Selica and Stephanie Powers.
Ooh, Stephanie Powers.
Connie Selica had the most gorgeous eyes.
All about the eyes with her and that straight black hair.
Yeah, straight black hair. I thought she was captivating.
That's a great word to use for her. Captivating. And, Stephanie Powers. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm on the money with that.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good rest of the morning. All right, gang. 3 o'clock hour coming up. We're going to have a conversation with Ellen Karras. All of this stuff remains on the table, by all means. At the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking a little bit of recovery like we always do. Little experience, strength, and hope. No more booze for this guy. 1-800-848-9222, 77 WABC.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
And now joining me here for a really happy, energetic chunk of broadcasting brilliance here on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on 77 WABC, of course, is normally by phone, but now in person here in studio, my buddy Ellen Karas.
I can't believe it.
Right?
I mean, we made this happen in the best of ways.
Yes.
Because we already had an evening.
We did. We actually looked fabulous.
We looked so good too.
I know.
I mean, did you see how people were looking at us when we were walking up Third Avenue?
And they were right. And they were right. We were just at the WABC gala celebrating a bunch of stuff, including mainly the 250th birthday of the United States, kicking off the 250 year, and benefiting Tunnel to Towers and Shriners Children, and also the New York Police Athletic League.
Yeah,
and it was a fabulous, right?
I have to tell you something. Yeah. I don't know how much you go out. We don't have fun in our house anymore.
No.
Okay. No, we're all fun. Okay.
The era of fun.
We're anti-travel. We're anti-fun. We're just all about complaining.
Right.
Well, at least one of us.
Right.
The one that's not here.
Right.
And, so any opportunity I can get to get dressed up and be amongst the people, I take. So it was really spectacular and huge. I'm not just saying this. Huge kudos to John and Margot Katsamatidis and Chad Lopez and I think Emily Pankow.
Yep.
Pankow. They gave her a shout out.
Yeah.
Though putting 600 people at Cipriani's on 42nd Street is a monumental task.
Yep.
And I believe they did it in a few weeks, which is amazing. And it was all for great charity.
Yeah.
So when I bought my ticket, you can choose, and I chose the police support. So it was like police farm. I mean, it was just great. It was great. The music was great. The food was great.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a dessert person.
I saw at the end of the evening. I now know you're a dessert person. You've always been a sweetie
I've always
tooth.
been right. So you didn't, but if you didn't remember, but you saw me just
devour.
It was like I'm going to the chair.
You're little, and this dessert they have it at Cipriani. It's like a coconut meringue cake. It's their signature dish, dessert, and it sounds like a punchline, but in this case, it's true. It was just about the size of your head.
Yes.
And
yes.
You could have hidden behind it.
Yeah, it was huge. And it's funny. I do love coconut, but I'm really a chocolate person.
Yes. I know about you.
That's my deal.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
But that was delicious.
Yes.
It was all great. The people were great. The wine was flowing. It was decorated.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
And for people out there who are like viewers and listeners of conservative media, right? Mm-hmm. This was like those names and faces and voices. Clearly all the WABC talent, right? All the personalities here. Sid was there. Kelly was there. Just everybody,
Anthony Cumia.
Lionel. Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to leave people out and I'm going to not sleep all weekend. Rita Cosby was there.
Larry
Kudlow was there.
Craig Eaton, because I actually sat with him.
Right.
He's on John's show.
Right.
Peter King,
right. The congressman was there. And my buddy Dominic Carter. And, there were so many. And Lionel. So, and many, many more. And a cast of thousands.
It was the who's who.
And in terms of the voice, like Frank Siller from Tunnel to Towers, right? Everybody sees those commercials 7 times an hour, right? Cause that's the kind of people that watch this kind of media. And, the music provided by,
Vinny
Medugno from WABC.
His voice
blew me away.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, Cousin Brucey was the MC and he was great. He's amazing.
Right.
But Vinny really blew me away. Yeah. He was great. It was great.
Oh my God. Like incredible. And then Proud to Be an American. Then we had,
Lee Greenwood.
For crying out loud.
So I have to tell you, I was very excited. I knew Lee Greenwood was going to be there because I always wanted to meet him because I always wanted to tell him something, which I got to tell him tonight.
Did you? Oh, tell.
I got to tell him, went over, hi, I'm Ellen Karas, I'm a comedian, and we love your song, Proud to be American, my husband and I, that we used your song as our wedding march.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And so he said, he was, oh my, he goes, thank you so much for telling me that. He goes, that's really kind. I said, we love your song. It meant a lot to us.
So that just happened tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice when you get that chance. And how often do you get that chance, right?
No, I've never, I don't know. Where was I going to meet him?
Right.
Unless I went to a concert. So I was really, really psyched that he was going to be there.
So, you know who else was? Oh, and Curtis was there.
Oh, Curtis.
And again, the names and go on and on and on. And,
also, Eric
that's where I'm going. So,
and I did not
dying to get your opinion.
Yeah. I didn't see them. I mean, it could have happened.
They were introduced at the same time.
They were introduced, but they were on opposite sides. So I'm assuming that they, didn't shake hands or anything. I would, I bet, $1 on that one.
Right.
And the cheering for Curtis, the applause were louder than for Eric. I mean, nothing surprises me anymore, but I was a little surprised that he came, obviously knowing that this is really Curtis country, WABC,
Mr.
right?
Katz is a kingmaker though, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, where John and Margot are.
Right. Well, I know they're friends with everybody. They try to stay neutral. I don't know how they do that, but they do that.
Yep.
So he came, but I honestly, I did not see him, and I don't know how long he came for. Obviously he's not going to stay the whole evening, but he didn't really make a big hoopla.
No, and I tell you what though, and by the way, it's me, TJ, we're here on another side of midnight with a great, nice departure from how we normally do this because Ellen and I were both at the WABC gala this evening, and so I said, hey Ellen, come on in, and let's do this in person. So Ellen Karas, you can find her all over social media on Greek Chick Comic. Go find her at Greek Chick Comic all over social media, and EllenKaras.com is 1 R.
Yes.
And she's a very, very funny woman. She's great. She's smart. You see her on TV doing political commentary and always with energy, always funny. And so yeah, I was going to get to the whole mayor thing. So I thought it was interesting. I thought the applause for Curtis, I thought it was a bit more rowdy too, because how often do you get to cheer for your guy when the other guy is there?
Right.
So all those Curtis supporters were in the room and they got to do it in front of Eric.
Right.
And I think that kind of charged it up a little bit.
And it was an interesting day for Eric because he made an announcement. I was listening to Katz and Cosby at 5 and they were teeing up the announcement and it sounded like Eric was going to drop out. But instead, he doubled down.
Right.
And he was like, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm wearing the shirt. You see what this shirt says? It says Mayor of New York City. I'm going to continue to wear that. I'm going to finish the job. On and on. It's like, all right, somebody took their happy pills because I don't know how you're convincing yourself considering you're in last place.
You're in last place.
And you're not even running on the ticket that you originally bragged that you were a part of, the Biden of Brooklyn.
He's running as an independent.
But he took himself off because he knew that he couldn't run against Mandami. So it's, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
I try to, I certainly live in faith and I try to be positive, but I've got major anxiety about this mayoral race. I'm not going to lie. I really do because
you just see the math. You're a numbers person. It's almost insurmountable unless somebody gets out. But now it's getting to the point where you almost feel like even if somebody got out.
Right. Because they keep saying if Eric dropped out, even if Curtis got all of Eric's points, he's still behind.
Right.
Cuomo would have to drop out and then Curtis would have to get all of his points, and then he could win, and then some.
And all of that is such a hypothetical. It's all.
So, but here's the question, though.
Yes.
Okay, because we know that polls have been wrong. So sometimes I say, because I feel like there's this like mastermind. I realize the polls are supposed to be independent, but they're not.
No.
And I just feel like they're spoon feeding between the media, not this radio station, but the other media.
Sure.
They're spoon feeding the public to think that Mamdani has already won so that people won't go out to vote.
Right.
You know, or
trying to suppress that vote.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't know. There's just something in my bones where I feel there's a manipulation.
Yeah.
And the polls, like, how could this guy that's never had a job, that stands for awful things, okay, anti-capitalism, he can try to backpedal all he wants. We have it on record. We know what he stands for. The whole freezing of the rents thing, and he does say this. He hasn't backpedaled on, free subways, free buses. I can't. You can't even rationalize. It's like rationalizing
all
with
the
an
proof you need is that De Blasio endorsed all of that stuff.
Well, thank you. That was the other thing that happened. I felt like De Blasio had already endorsed him. So why, I don't know why this week it was like a big surprise.
Another bite at the apple.
But and I'll quote Curtis, Mamdani would be De Blasio on steroids.
Yep.
But just to go back to what I was saying, I really want to kind of drive the point home. I feel like we're being brainwashed.
Yes.
As we know, it was supposed to be Kamala. As we know, with against Trump, it was supposed to be Hillary. I mean, they've been wrong plenty of times. So it's got to be free elections. I mean, that is a knife in the democratic process.
Yep. I think that, if anything, well, first of all, if somebody's going to get out, they got to get out soon because I think we're beyond the point of, and it sounds like so perfunctory here, but we might be beyond the point of being able to pull somebody off the ballot, the actual printed ballot.
Well, Curtis has said that. Curtis said we're still going to be on the ballot.
Which that in and of itself is a big problem because you have such an apathetic electorate who don't pay attention and they're just going to the ones who do show up, the voter apathy in this city, like other major cities, is just rampant. Nobody shows up to vote. So so many of the ones that do just show up like lemmings. And so that's a problem. Even if one of them or two of them were to get out, there are still going to be trickles of votes that are going to be lost to that.
Right.
But also, the Post ran a piece, I think it might have been yesterday, the day before. It might have been Thursday or Wednesday. I forget. But there was this piece where it showed who's on Team Mamdani, who his brain trust is. They are a bunch of Gen Z and Gen Y, they're all like him. They have, actually, they have a bit more expertise at what they do. He's got really good social media people. He's got a pretty good speechwriter. Again, a kid. They're all kids, but they're all a bunch of young punks. They're all a bunch of punks who all look like trust fund kids and who are just these awful socialist, and I can't imagine that they're as ideological as him. I don't know, but looking at this rogues gallery of punks just drove me nuts. I was like, holy God, we cannot hand over this massive city to this bunch.
Okay, and those are the people that are running his campaign. Who would he put in charge of education, in charge of finance? I mean, he's so against everything that this city has been built upon.
Right.
And the thing is, the young people, the under 30, under 35, whatever the category or categories are, but what's even scarier is when people that are 55 are saying that they'll vote for him.
Yep.
It's like, what?
Jewish people. I know this is Sid. This is a bee in Sid's bonnet. Drives him batty.
I can't get over it. Why would you do that?
How does a Jew vote for an anti-Semite? Not even a veiled one. An outward, unabashed anti-Semite. Just, oh my God. Even the Brits kicked out their anti-Semites out of the Labour Party.
He went to the, it's just awful. I can't wrap my head around it. He went to the West Indian Day Parade, which was on Labor Day. Right, traditionally. And traditionally always ends up in the same way.
Yes, a bloodbath. Yeah.
They had the most police presence. It was, it was just ridiculous. I talked about this actually on my podcast, how it's always like that. And I feel bad for the people the good people that go that love it. You know, it's their culture. Like, I love the Greek Independence Day parade. I march in it every year. We all go, the tri-state area, buses come in. And by the way, do you know how hard it is to plan a parade in this city? Oh. You need permits. I mean, it's crazy.
The logistics are insane.
And then it always ends up the same way with people getting shot, and it's just disgusting. And again, something else I'll never understand.
Right.
But anyway, my point was that Mondami was there.
Right.
Cuomo was there because he showed up.
Right.
And, but anyway, Mondami was there. There were a lot of people rallying around him.
Sure.
And he was he did it like a little dance, right?
God.
So I saw the post and I scrolled through, cause I'm scrolling through the comments cause I want to see what people say. And some people say, oh my God, we can't we can't have this guy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I'm more interested in looking to the people that support him.
I love this guy.
They were like, oh, he could dance. Oh, finally a mayor that could dance. That's your criteria? Is that how low the bar has gotten? Yeah. It's just, it makes no sense. Even if you are a trust fund kid, how do you think that money got to you?
You know,
somebody was in a business that made money.
That made money. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It came from someplace.
It's, I'm starting to get a bit more like dour about all. I really think that, very often, more often than the old saying allows for about judging a book, I think at least 7 times out of 10 we're right when you judge a book. I mean, by its cover. And I just really think that a huge portion of the electorate, and I'm building this up like it's some sort of revelation, is just stupid and disconnected. And when you vote only, and I mean, saying that, in a choice, a binary choice, I'm going to go for the Republican. Yeah. But you know what? I have written in before. I have written in names of other Republicans. I have voted in elections and not voted for the Republican on the ballot. I've done that. And I just can, to me, it's stupidity. In this case, because, all right, you want to be ideologically aligned with this lunatic socialist. If you believe in free buses, it's the rest of it. It's what you mentioned earlier. The guy has never had a job. The guy has never led people. The guy and something Curtis is wont to say, and people I know who served with him in the assembly, he hasn't been present for votes. He has
passed nothing.
He has passed zero as an assemblyman. In a supermajority, this guy has not passed a bill. So that's where it becomes also stupidity. You're voting for an idiot. You're voting for a guy who has zero credibility as an elected official, and you want to hand over the reins, the keys, to the largest, most important city on the planet. Now you're just stupid for doing that. Again, you want to vote for socialism and freeze the rent and all that stuff. I get that. But where do you draw the line? I mean, how can you be okay with this anti-Semitism? That's what gets me about these people, and they're all over the country.
I was just about to say, this is contrived, everybody. It's not conspiracy theory. It's just what's happening.
Yes.
And they start with the cities.
Yep.
And there's all this underground money coming from all over the place.
The Soroses, I believe all that. I believe all that.
Right. Yeah. And more. Soros just happens to be like the brand, but there's more. And they're in Chicago and in LA and obviously they go to the blue states first because those are the easiest bait.
Yeah.
And then it trickles up from there, I think about AOC and how she got in because I felt like, and I pay attention, and like all of a sudden it was like, who is this person?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, she was making a ton of noise. The media loved her.
Right.
And she's in, and now we can't get her out.
Yep.
You see that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's up for a re-election every 2 years, and she wins.
Locked in.
And it's insane.
Yep. That's why I don't think she's ever going to go. I don't think she's going to go for Schumer's seat. I don't think she's going to go for, I think she's just stay right there and be.
It depends how ambitious she is.
Right. All right, gang. So listen, we're going to get back to our conversation with Ellen Karas in just 1 second. It is 3:26. Time for a quick break. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on 77 WABC. We shall return in just one moment.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Side money too,
Yeah.
So
how about Omar?
So and who was the one? Rashida Tlaib. Did you hear her the other day?
Jeez,
it's a disgrace. This is America.
Disgusting.
Who talks like this?
Yeah, I don't like when Republicans do it, and there's a few Republicans that are doing it too, and they're out there and they're just sort of throwing some curses. Even one guy who's like a buddy of mine, and I just go, ooh, don't do that.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I get it, but don't do that. I mean, even in small gatherings, I'm like, ugh, because it's just whatever. It's just, I don't know, but no, they are just disgusting on the other side now. It's gross.
I mean, it's just like we're the worst place in the planet. Like we mistreat people you mistreat people.
Yep.
You know, you're the one that wants to suppress people. You're the one that doesn't want to have a free society and give people opportunities.
Yeah.
With your taxing and your lawlessness and all of it.
Oh, and speaking of Tlaib, was it, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I got to find the article while we're talking, but I could have sworn I just saw something where, was it the Detroit or the Dearborn police or something like that, where there's that large Arab community was doing a police patch, a badge that was in Arabic and American. I get that that's a big portion of your, but on an official badge, on an official badge, I can't. And they just do these things.
Right.
Gretchen Whitmer would be very smart to step in on that. If that's actually happened, I'm pretty damn sure it is. That would be a move for her,
But
she's beholden.
She's totally to the left.
Yeah.
They're all, and then you've got, talk about Gretchen Whitmer, like all these governors, like Gavin Newsom.
Oh.
Gavin Newsom is not a dumb man.
No.
At all.
No.
It's like, dude, why is it always a fight with you? You're always looking for a fight. You can't admit when things are wrong. And the thing is, you've got the resources to fix it.
Totally.
And you don't want to fix it.
Nope. No.
And all these policies, just, going back to Mondami, well, they all feel the same way. Like with the drug, drugs should be fine.
Right.
We should have shooting up park.
Yeah.
Sure. While, your 2-year-olds in a stroller, you should be so certainly going by and, and being in that kind of an atmosphere. That's
right.
When I went to the park, that's exactly what was happening. I mean, come on.
I needed needles.
Right.
And all
and then
this,
the whole thing with prostitution and making that legal. And it's like, okay, so what happened to protecting women's rights? Because there's so much underage prostitution and there's so much sex trafficking. And that's all part of it.
Part of it.
So if you say you're for women, you're lying. You're anti-woman.
Absolutely. Yeah. From
you're anti-woman.
From trans in sports.
As is the crime.
Right.
Because a lot of women are victims of crime.
Absolutely. Disproportionately, sure.
You're not protecting them.
Nope.
So they're all, they're liars.
No.
Just such liars.
And I had a guest on the show last week. And by the way, the show is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick here on 77 WABC. We're talking to Ellen Karas, regular friend on the show and other shows here on 77 WABC. And, I had somebody on last week who was talking about, legalizing prostitution and how, look at the Nevada model. And I'm like, no, hold on a minute. I said, Mamdani's not talking about a big public health plan towards regulating a sex industry like the brothel business in Nevada. He's talking about decriminalizing what's going on.
Correct.
Which decriminalizing what's going on means a lineup of dirty men coming and abusing a young trafficked Hispanic or Asian girl on a dirty mattress in Jackson Heights. Decriminalizing that, that's disgusting. And that is what Mamdani has no problem with doing. And the women that support him, it is how many, it is, I cannot articulate.
Isn't it wild that we're even talking about this?
We're talking about the marginalizing, the victimization of women to further the political ambitions of Democrats. I'm tired of even saying leftists and so Democrats are lining up to endorse decriminalizing human trafficking. Democrats. This is a Democrat thing. And you know what? And I've stopped mincing words on social media with like friends of mine, all my friends who were back in Los Angeles when I was from living there, who just will continue to do, they'll do it again. They'll vote for another Karen Bass. They'll vote to burn down their neighborhoods again. It's just, I don't know.
I feel like until you are the victim, until they are the victim, right, they're not going to get it.
Or the city has to go down. I'm sorry if we already talked about this one time. We might have, but that's another thing. Part of me, and you might have, I forget, I don't know, or maybe neither of us, I don't know. But I think there is something, the silver lining, if you can find a somewhat of a potential, it's not even an upside to all this, but maybe it all has to come down. Maybe New York has to literally be on the brink for people to like just cry uncle and get it. And for some, because that's gonna happen.
Right. But the thing, I understand what you're saying, except that 2025 is different than a 1975. People are much more apt to get up and leave.
It's a hell of a point.
And because New York is where you also came for work.
Yeah.
And people don't necessarily have to work here anymore.
I keep forgetting there was an industry here. I keep forgetting there were blue collar jobs around, you know.
And a lot of finance jobs and a lot of banking jobs. I mean, the jobs now that have expanded in New York City are mostly tech. But, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think law firms to a certain degree, but not banking, not Wall Street. There is really no Wall Street-ish left.
Now it's what, Greenwich, right? It's about like the hedge funds and
there's hedge funds left,
and they're everywhere, and also they're also going to tax-friendly places, right? I mean,
Miami.
There's a burgeoning financial industry in Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah, for sure. So it's just a different, a different dynamic.
But maybe that's what it's going to take. I mean, because if the logic doesn't work, if the logic about who we're talking about doesn't work, if this guy has been able to cut through the mire and be the nominee, then there's no accounting for any of that intellect that got him there and is now ready to make him the mayor. Maybe, that's why I'm saying, maybe it does take like, I don't want to say the downfall of New York, but like a lot closer than it's ever been. I mean, you make a hell of a point about 77, about the 70s. Yeah, now people just leave. People, right, that's interesting. But maybe that'd be part of the downfall too.
And the other thing is, just from a math perspective,
right,
all of these things that you are promising, free, the free subways, the free trains, like we mentioned, free childcare,
right,
for everybody,
totally
free childcare for everybody.
Right.
Wait, first of all,
right,
if you have two children.
Yes.
If you have a kid, it's your responsibility. It's not my responsibility.
Nope.
I don't need to go to work to pay for somebody else's, child care.
Right.
You have to find a way. Now, do I think the child care should be $60,000 a year? No, of course not. No, it should be, there should be some, it should be affordable.
Sure.
But it shouldn't be for free. We go from 0 to 100.
Yes.
It's just amazing. There's no middle ground or fair ground at all. But everything that he's promising, if your tax base leaves, where are you going to get the money? What, tourism?
Right.
If this place is unsafe, tourists aren't coming. You know, again, I feel like the numbers have been fudged, but yes, we've had tourists here this summer. I've seen it, but I don't think it's as much as they've been touting at all. Nope. I know Canada held back, a lot this summer. We generally have a lot of Canadians.
Sure.
So,
a lot of Europeans would normally be here.
Right.
And
look, I'm so pro New York, but I mean, there are other places that people can go. This isn't the only place.
Yeah.
So even if you buy what he's talking about, how is he going to pay for it? What, from the police budget? I mean, there's no,
but actually, there's
the
police budget.
The police budget and what? I mean, this guy has said out loud that he hates billionaires.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire!
It comes from a millionaire family.
He hates billionaires. He hates capitalism. Look what AOC did and some of those other lefties over on the other side of the river, with Amazon.
Right.
All those jobs.
Right. Gone.
And
never got a chance.
And tax money.
Yep. Didn't even have a chance.
And they totally squashed it.
I know.
Now, I don't like to, defend him, but was Cuomo for the Amazon thing? Was he pushing? I feel like he was for it.
I think
not that this is an endorsement. I'm just saying.
No, of course not. No. But look, that sounds like something he would see the value.
Yeah.
in. Absolutely.
And
I really do think he was.
And just to get on him, I love when people go, he did so much. Okay. He got LaGuardia Airport. Well, first of all, it does look better, but it's not finished.
Right.
But everything that these people go, you did with our money.
Right.
It's our money. We are paying for all of this.
Yep.
That makes me nuts.
Yeah.
Just the way that people have been brainwashed as if it's coming out of the pocket of the, of the politician.
Something that was generated.
But what is coming out of our pocket as well is the legal fees for Andrew Cuomo. Is everybody aware of that?
These settlements.
That we are paying. He just settled two for $500,000, $500,000. It was $250 each.
Oh, is it $250
it was $250
each?
It was $500,000, and it's coming out of taxpayer money.
And that doesn't even cover the legal expenses for the legal eagles, for the white shoe lawyers that are defending or putting these cases to bed.
Right. And I think this came from my husband, so I'll just quote the source. But he said that in this latest budget, Kathy Hochul pushed something in where if you are a public servant, your legal fees, if you get sued, your legal fees will be covered.
Yes.
I.e. Letitia James.
Yes.
If this whole thing goes down
totally
with the mortgage,
her.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
and potentially herself and her husband.
We're paying for this. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
People, wake up.
And again, that's because we've got a supermajority up in Albany that there are zero checks and balances in Albany. There is no accountability in Albany because, and forget from the voters, because they keep putting these supermajority. It's a veto-proof supermajority in the Assembly and the State Senate. There is not even an independent-minded Democrat to look after the other Democrats. There is absolutely nobody watching anybody. Everything passes. All the craziness, all of these energy hikes, all of these rate hikes for energy, that's all passed. That's all approved by the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission is made up of commissioners that are appointed by the governor and approved by the legislature. So when you see anybody out there, when you see your local assembly person or senator in New York who stands up at any kind of public hearing with a sign that says anything about Con Ed and rate hikes, that's theater. They think you're dumb, because if that's a Democrat standing up and saying they're against these rate hikes and calling for Con Ed to understand something. They have been approving everything Kathy Hochul has done for her green new energy right on through the approval process of the Public Service Commission. Any Democrat who is pretending to be offended by these rate hikes has played a major role in bringing about these rate hikes. It's as simple as that. And these dummies, these dopey Democrats are going to keep doing it because they don't listen. They are literally a bunch of dopes. They're dopes. There might be one or two intellectual people that you and I know, and maybe you at home, you got some friends who are Democrats and they're smart. But it stops at their politics because this is just a bunch of, and I know plenty of Republicans that I would never elect again. I've worked for some true gems in my life. Yeah. I don't love them all because they've got an R after their name. But like I said, I've written in. I don't know how many Democrats have ever done that.
Right. I think I have one friend, comic friend who I love. And we've talked politics a lot. We became very close in the last couple of years. And she's definitely she's seen the light, you know, and she respects my opinion, especially when I talk economics, since I have the CPA background. And so we're in a car recently and we were talking and about all, you know, what's been going on. She hates Mondami. Obviously she's Jewish. She's very concerned, the whole thing. And she goes, and I'm a Democrat. And I go, this isn't her name, you know, Sharon. No, Sharon.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
Because you agree with pretty much 90% of, and it's almost like because that was her identity and that, you know, so so some people are still kind of walking around saying that that's what they are, not realizing that it's not that Democratic Party anymore. No. It's not that one from 25 years ago.
Nope. And for a lot of cultural groups, ethnic groups, there is an identity to being, you know, one of the most fascinating things I ever heard in a great documentary about the Jewish journey in America. I think that was actually the title of the documentary. The Jewish journey. I'm fascinated by the Jewish journey in America. I really am, especially the show business aspect of it. And well, I heard many people quoted in this thing, and they would say, you know, to be Jewish was to be, and to be a Democrat, and I didn't take umbrage with that. I actually found that to be quite charming. I found that to be quite interesting. And also considering the time frame of it, you know, Lower East Side and tenements and sweatshops and all that. That I get, and the social justice aspect of Democrat, but none of this is social justice. None of this is getting ahead. This is insanity. This is
suppression.
It's suppression. Yeah. It's, and watch what it does to freedom of speech. I mean, this is genuine. And, you know, he's right again. Trump is right. This is communist. This is a communist. This socialist has has a Robin Hood ring to it. This is communism. Right. This is Stalin. This is Lenin. This is Marxism. This is communism. And on that happy note, but anyway, so listen, we got to wrap, because it's Wednesday now. So everybody can go to Greek Chick Comic, where you're funny everywhere. I love your walk and talks. Yeah. I love how you get out there and you're walking somewhere on the east side, and you're just this side of sweating because, well, you're in great shape. So I think it takes a lot for you to sweat, but you're just out there and you're talking. And everybody's got to go and find your videos and see you on Instagram and Twitter. You're so funny and so real.
Thank you. I hope I'm representing, you know what I mean? Like, I hope everybody feels the way that I do, that when you are working out at in a class, that women shouldn't be wearing 14 bracelets and 22 necklaces. Right. You know, it's wrong, right, people? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Do you encounter that?
Yes. I'm just stunned at the women. I don't think it's just the Upper East Side, but that wear all this jewelry to work out.
Yeah. It's a whole different kind of keeping up with right? I mean, because it used to be just like, okay, first of all, I remember when people worked out in sweats. I remember that. And then, and as the years eventually, we got ourselves, fast forward.
The Lululemon. Yes.
And now it's Fabletics. And now it's Gymshark. And it's more keeping up. And my house is full of all this stuff between my wife and my daughter.
You have girls.
Yeah.
And girls like stuff.
clearly.
Yes. So,
I know.
Yeah, you have a lot of, and we like a lot of the same.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, there's a lot of repetition.
There is.
Yes, there's a lot of repetition.
Right.
My daughters each have like 7 pairs of like Nike, whatchamacallit, what are they? The Nike something, and it's on the waistband. The something shorts, like they're booty shorts, they're the black workout shorts.
Right.
But you gotta have like 9 of them?
Yes.
And
you're convulsing right now.
Yes, the sports bras, and I mean, there's untold numbers of leggings.
Yes.
Yes,
we need everything in a different color.
Yes. And multiples in different colors. And now it's like maroon. There's maroon everywhere. there's maroon bra tops and jog, whatever you call it. It used to be called a bounce bra. Then it was called the jogging bra. Then there's sports bra. But like, there's all of them, and there's the shorts and the leggings. Leggings look so hot. Like, I was going to say so hot. In some cases, they're incredibly hot. But always, temperature-wise, I don't know how women wear those in the summertime. It's like a layer. It's like a double layer of heat. And I could not have been more right. And Ellen agrees with me on all of that. It is 3:50 here on 77 WABC. Had a great time talking to Ellen. We will take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll wrap up this hour. And then when we come back from that, we're going to come back. Okay. Gotcha. We're going to take a break. We're going to roll into the next hour. Yeah. And we will, absolutely, have a good time. In the, 4:00 hour, by the way, we're going to talk a little bit of recovery for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit of boozing. We're going to talk a little bit of not boozing. And, that number, 1-800-848-9222 covers all of that. We're going to talk recovery hour. And also, the RFK has come out. I really want to talk about this too, by the way. RFK's talking about a link. He promises now to expose a link between Tylenol and autism. This story apparently has been out there for a little bit. Nobody touched it. And now it's about to come to fruition. And it's going to make massive news. Could there actually be a connection between a mainstream drug and autism? And we're not talking about vaccinations. It's always been about vaccinations, right? They're all been accusing him of being anti-vax. Well, it looks like it could be something like Tylenol. I don't know. That's what they're saying it might be. Also, later today, $1.7 billion, $1.7 billion. I gotta buy. Interesting though, I've heard experts saying that the smart way is to do the random picks. And then I read an article in another paper that said, don't do the random picks because the random picks tend to duplicate. And that's why people end up sharing. So I don't know if you guys have a particular formula to win the Powerball, but it's up to like something like $1.4, $1.7 billion later tonight. So we'll all be doing that. And then I'll be here to celebrate my winnings with you, Sunday morning. And I will tithe. I will give 10% to Jesus. And also, the New York Times, it sort of slipped out there on Friday. The New York Times exposed this like top secret mission that didn't go so well for a Navy SEAL team back in 2019 during the first Trump administration, where some North Korean civilians were like killed, I think. But once again, there's the New York Times dealing with unnamed sources familiar with the mission and exposing something that may or may not have happened and blasting it out there to, of course, try to impede on the good works of Donald Trump. I don't know. That one just sort of came from out of nowhere, like halfway through the day on Friday. That one was weird. Anyway, so we've got a few things to talk about in 4 o'clock, and again, anything that you want to discuss. We were talking earlier about crushes from back in the day. We're talking about all-time men and women in show business who were just all over your wall, posters all over your mind. I've named the Lander sisters and Adrienne Barbeau, and then I threw out a young Shirley MacLaine. And we got some calls, and one of them was Connie Sellecca. One of the fellas mentioned Connie Sellecca, found her quite captivating, he said. The blue eyes and the straight dark hair. These days I'm a sucker for the brunettes. Here I am naming the Lander sisters blondes. But then there's Adrienne Barbeau. I think the Adrienne Barbeau effect has impacted the rest of my life. I've been a brunette guy forever and ever. 1-800-848-9222. Where are you? And how about the ladies? Where's the ladies on this? If my wife was awake, if the bombshell was awake, I guarantee you she'd be calling up about, I mentioned already, Lenny Kravitz. Oh, and now, since we saw Oasis, my wife is a late bloomer to Liam Gallagher. I don't know if this rings a bell with anybody in this audience about Oasis and the Gallagher brothers. But after we went to the concert, my wife is all about this bad boy thing. If she's into bad boys, she's going to have to go look, and she might as well go settle down with Liam, because while I might kick and stomp when people don't load the dishwasher right, that's when I'm a bad boy. How sad is that? Look, she's the one who kicked me out to get me sober. We'll talk. Yeah, it's almost recovery hour. Not that we talk about it for the whole hour, but I mean, you can, but it's not the whole time. But that's me. That's bad boy. That's when I kick butt and take names, is when you load the dishwasher wrong. What did I go off on this week? This week, something wasn't right in the house. And, okay, this is who my wife is married to. I am so sorry. This is me in my bad boy era. I got all ticked off the other day because I couldn't find a dish towel. This is so sad, but you got to drop a dime on yourself every now and then and acknowledge who the Lord made you to be. Couldn't find a dish towel. I got wet hands and a wet, frying pan in the kitchen. And I'm ticked off because there's no towel to dry. And I'm dripping water on the kitchen floor, which annoys me as well. Because I have feet that can sense anything. If I'm barefoot, I can tell if I'm standing on an eyelash. I'll feel the eyelash and go, what is that under my feet? And I get annoyed. So anyway, what did I get annoyed about? The fact that in the upstairs linen closet, we were stacking dish towels with hand towels, like proper towels, like the bathroom. And I had to walk around the house making a pronouncement to my beautiful wife and my spectacular daughters, saying, holding dish towels. I'm holding dish towels in my hands, with kitchen towels. I'm holding dish towels in my hands saying, and I'm dead serious. What a jerk. I'm dead serious. I'm standing there as serious as anything saying, gang, girls, when we do laundry, if there's dish towels, can we not put them in the linen closet with our, towels? Can we not separate kitchen towels? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. This is how I treat the woman who saved my life. And my daughters, who are the gift of my sobriety. Separate the dish she should leave me. She should leave me and never look back and take the girls with and go settle down with Lenny, and Millie and Trixie Kravitz will enjoy the rest of their lives. 77 WABC, it's Another Side of Midnight with me, the annoying TJ McCormick, also known as Felix Unger.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
And we're back. Good morning, 407 here on 77 WABC. It's me, TJ, talking to you out there. Hello. It's Another Side of Midnight. Every Saturday morning around this time, we enjoy a conversation, whenever it comes up, if it does come up, if there is a need, if you have a burning desire to have a conversation about a life that might be out of control. And I just, in the end of that, coming out of that last hour, you heard in a funny fashion, I like to think funny, in a lighthearted, self-indicting, self-effacing, little anecdote about me yapping about the proper storage of kitchen dish towels. Because I just can't help myself. All right? Funny and whatever. Yeah, well, hopefully you thought it was funny. That is my alcoholism. Okay? That is where it lives. It's not in not drinking. My sobriety, and for anybody tuning in for the first time, it's been 20 years since I had a drink, and 19 years since I had a cigarette, although I've been puffing on a few cigars recently, and damn it, I'm conflicted. If anybody has an opinion on that, I'm conflicted. I've had 4 cigars in 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm happy to hear your opinion. I welcome your opinion. Anyway, for me, the sobriety is not just about not drinking, it's about behavior. And something I've related to you guys and gals in the past is that, sober alcoholics tend to live their life according to phrases and catchphrases and slogans. Keep it simple, stupid. That kind of thing. Let go and let God, let go and let God take control. All right. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. So one of the ones that I heard, one of the golden bits of wisdom was from a crusty old timer in AA in a men's meeting who said one time, I heard him, first time I ever heard of it, sometimes you gotta know when to be shut up. Shut up as a state of being as opposed to like a verb. A state of being. To be shut up. Yeah, I say you want to be right or you want to be happy. Everybody has that one. So you want to win the fight or you want to be happy. You want to be right or you want to be happy. And sometimes my disease, my alcoholism just rages out of me like a wet, and I put up the resistance of a wet paper bag. I put up the resistance of an overcooked ramen noodle. And I break like that. And what happens? My wife, my daughters have to hear a chorus of, can we put the kitchen towels, can we put the kitchen towels not in the kitchen and not the linen closet? Because of course, I can't be happy with the idea that somebody put away the GD towels. There's an alcoholic. Not happy enough that somebody folded and put away towels and didn't have the daddy vision to notice that in amongst the hand towels for the bathroom might have been one or two goddamn kitchen towels. And I just have to say something. Do I take into account the person who folded up all the towels and put them away and how they're not feeling grateful or they're not feeling the gratitude that they deserve? Am I not taking into account the fact that somebody else might have had a really damn busy day? There's my alcoholism. I don't know if you can relate to it. If you can, you can. You can't, you can't. Take what you want, leave the rest, whatever. But that's a little bit of what we talk about in the 4 o'clock hour on a Saturday morning. If you relate to that, and if you relate to the darker side of it, if you think that you might have something cooking, or if there's somebody you love that you think has something cooking with an addiction, they're powerless over shopping, sex, booze, drugs, fentanyl, downers, up, whatever, smoking. We had somebody call in a few weeks ago about hoarding. If somebody's life is unmanageable because they're powerless over something like that, give a call, 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. In the meantime, we've been talking about much more lighthearted things like big screen crushes from back in the day. And because it all started talking about this conversation about how we seem to be returning to normal because the bombshell, Sydney Sweeney, that controversial, mein Tuchus, controversial, ad campaign featuring the stunning, curvaceous, busty, bedroom-eyed Sydney Sweeney for American Eagle jeans sold tons of denim and sent second quarter sales up 15% for American Eagle. And that's because, you know what? They did the normal thing. They put a gorgeous girl in some jeans and let her walk around. Ta-da! And what happened? Men and women, gay and straight of all sorts, said, yowza, me like her in dem. I'm going to get some too. Because that's the effect, you know. When Sydney Sweeney rolls around on camera wearing jeans, you go, Yep. Gay, straight, men, women, midgets, normals, regulars, talls, shorts. Yep. All of us. I'm a little bit of both, by the way. I'm a little bit midget, a little bit normal. And we all go, me want them. And we do. And we go by. So then we got into it and we were talking about crushes. My wife actually happened to be rolling over in the middle of her sleep, about 10 minutes ago. And she didn't even know what we were talking about. And she, about what I had said about Lenny Kravitz. And she goes, hey, Lenny Kravitz. I said, oh, she's listening. 1-800-848-9222. Let's see. Let's get over to, let's keep it. Okay. You know what? Let's get over to, who's in New Jersey? Who's on line 5? Is that Rick? Rick on line 5 in New Jersey, celeb crushes.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey,
TJ.
Good morning.
And I got several things, so don't hang up right away. Okay. All right, I'll make them quick. All right. First of all, this whole controversy about the Sydney Sweeney is silly.
Yeah.
50 years ago, this is just a redo of the Brooke Shields commercials with George.
Right. Whoop, where'd you go? You there? There you go. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if you heard anything I said.
No, I did. I said that you started talking about Brooke Shields.
Yeah, well, that was the original Sweeney thing with the jeans, with the Jordache. But she was 14.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
But there wasn't any controversy then, even though she was 14 and showing off her butt. Sweeney's 18. What the heck, you know?
Sweeney's in her 20s. God forbid she's 18. Come on, don't tell me she's 18, because then I got to wash out my brain with soap. She's got to be at least 25. Oh my Lord! But no, I'm a dad and my kid's only 16. So come on, you know. But anyway. But go ahead. Celeb crushes.
What? Yeah. Well, I'm older than you. I'm 72. So
God bless.
Back when I was young, there were 3: Bridget Bardot, BB.
Yes.
Elkie Summers. Remember from the Pink Panther movie?
Elkie Summer, absolutely.
And Raquel Welch, of course. Those
Raquel Welch should be at the top of every single ding-dang list.
That's right. That, and right below would be Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett, that hair. And I want the women to call in. I don't want this to turn into just a bunch of fellas going, I mean, we'll do it if we have to. But yeah, no, I totally concur with you there, Rick. I totally concur. And thanks as always for calling buddy.
No. Hold on, one more thing.
One more. Yes.
Okay. Well, you were talking about Clint Eastwood, for the guys.
Good looking dude.
Right. Yeah. But he got fired from, I believe the movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was loosely used on that. Oh. He got fired and then went to do spaghetti westerns. The reason he went over to Italy to do movies is they told him that he could never be a leading man with the size of his Adam's apple. Oh. Okay. So
for the tranny roles? What?
I don't know. He and Burt Reynolds got fired the same day from, I think it was Warner Brothers.
Jeez, that's just silliness. Those two? My God. And that's another one. My wife. My wife is, I love the fact that my wife has like retro crushes like I do on the, and thanks again, Rick, for calling. Has those retro, cause same thing with Burt Reynolds. I forget what movie we were watching. And she said, Jesus, she goes, Burt Reynolds. I mean, again, she's British. And so all these guys are global stars. She grew up in the 70s and 80s in Liverpool, and it wasn't all the exact same stuff that we were watching, even though these guys were, men and women were all massive global movie stars. It wasn't like Smokey and the Bandit was huge in Great Britain. Oh, there's another one. Underrated Sally Field. Sally Field in the 70s. As Frog in Smokey and the Bandit. Yep. Underrated. Young Sally Field. Definitely. Old Sally Field, too liberal. Like just liberal. Let's get over to Dave, line 4 in New York City. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, TJ, what's up, brother?
Hi there. Good morning.
Are you a TJ that worked at Good Times?
Am I TJ that worked at Good Times and doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, man.
Ages ago. I'm well.
Yeah. I know like TJ, but you were funny then.
Oh, thank you.
I love you on the radio. It's great to hear you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That's very kind of you. So what's on your mind tonight, buddy, this morning?
I just saw Lonnie yesterday for the first time in 20 years from Good Times. And we mentioned your name in the conversation. Oh my God. Yeah. What, and I hear you tonight on the radio. Fantastic.
That's wild.
How is your life? Is it good?
Thank you. Wow. You're lovely. My life is good. And, I've after all the years here in New York, I went out and about and I was working around the country and I lived in LA and, did all that stuff and, been sober for 20 years and, been on and off TV and landed here with Mr. Katz and the entire gorgeous family at WABC. So I'm
Did you marry a performer?
I married a performer. I met my wife on a cruise ship. I met my wife on a cruise ship. She's a dancer.
What company were you with on the cruise ship?
I was working for Carnival Cruise Lines at the time.
Oh yeah.
And then I started working for Royal Caribbean and Princess and all of them.
We followed each other on Princess. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
is for sure. I mentioned your name one night in Princess, and someone said he's coming here next week. I remember that very well indeed.
Dave, you're lovely. You made my morning, buddy. Thank you for that. That's really, really kind of you. And now that you know I'm here, don't be a stranger, okay? Make sure you call up a lot.
I won't, TJ. We'll be in touch.
Excellent. God bless. Love to hear from you, Dave. That was lovely. That was really nice. Wow. 4:20 here on 77 WABC. On another side of midnight, I'm TJ, and we're talking about a bunch of stuff this morning, which is really what's the awesome thing about doing this show at this time in the morning. Let's see. So we've been talking about big screen crushes. Silas on Staten Island, is reminding us that, Actually, you know what? Looks like we got Chris up here, line 2. Chris in the Catskills. Silas, hang in there. Chris, good morning.
Evening. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
So I'm going to take it from a more macro perspective, I suppose.
Okay.
If you kind of look at eras and you look at television and photographs of people, attractiveness seems to go in cycles. And if you look, people in the early 60s to mid 60s were very attractive, and people in the 90s were very attractive, and going into the 2000s decade. And say like the blonde woman on Star Trek. Okay, that's one example of somebody, you know, in television that was very attractive in the 60s.
The nurse, the one who played the nurse.
She was in a lot of the episodes. Not every episode, but she was a reoccurring regular character on Star Trek.
Right.
Now, going ahead to the 90s, and these are women, some of the women are not young. They look great, you know, that television program Becker, that ran for 5 years. There was 2 women that worked. There was the woman that was the bartender, and then there was the woman that was his secretary. They were both very attractive, and they weren't teenagers. You know, they were women.
You just reminded me of another underrated. From Night Court, she died young. Marky Post.
Oh, the one that hooked up with Bill Clinton and the Secret Service couldn't find him.
What? Oh, my Lord. All right, thanks, Chris. Thank you, buddy. Let's get over to Silas, line 1. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Yeah. As far as the attractive women, as a kid, Raquel Welch did it for me.
Number 1.
I was in the movies.
That might be just number 1, right? I mean, that's almost one that, like, if you just like looked around the room and said, okay, can we all agree that she's just literally number 1 of all time? You'd have enough people, you know what I mean? Not everybody would agree, but a lot of people would say, yeah, all time.
Well, she's world class. No matter where you are in the world, they would say, "Oh my God, yeah."
Yeah,
and then there was Cindy Crawford and what we call it, Barbara Eden.
Barbara Eden still alive. She's like 94, give or take.
Yeah.
All
the Catwomen.
All the Catwomen. I like how that's a category. All the Catwomen. Julie Newmar.
All the
Catwomen.
Now,
including Eartha Kitt.
If you want to take away their,
Batman.
You want to take away their.
All I want for Christmas is you, Batman. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know. By the way, I'm 57 years old. I've been doing impressions all my life. I had no idea I do Eartha Kitt. Go on, Silas. I'm sorry.
You want to take away their politics?
Yeah.
Barbarella.
That, you know what though? Jane Fonda, that's the only one.
I don't even look at her politics. She was gorgeous.
But here's the thing. Yeah, but you know what? Only in that one movie. All the other ones, she's just a pretty girl.
Oh, yeah.
Barbarella, that's the only one where she's all, but the rest of them, she's just pretty. So no, you know what? I'm taking her off the list. Okay, Mother Jugs and Speed, yes. And she wasn't Jugs, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody else was Jugs.
All right.
Oh, wait, I got another underrated. From the 70s. Here you go. With the voice. Suzanne Pleshette.
Okay.
As you know what? I take that back. That one's boring. I take it back. Yeah. I just thought about a brunette. Oh my God. We need more women. What? What's that?
I got a whole list of women.
No, I mean, I need more women to call in, but I got Pamela waiting, so that's good. I'm glad Pamela's there. Silas, I got to jump. I want to get over to Pamela and everybody else here. Let's talk. I want to make sure we give people time. Richie's been hanging in there. You know what? Wait, hold on. I can't choose. Let's get Pamela. Pamela, come on, lady.
Oh, hey, Charles Bronson. I'm sorry. He could do a toilet bowl commercial and I'd watch it.
What? Really? You know what? I've been doing Charles Bronson for many years. I'm trying to think. I used to do Charles Bronson. What was the line? I would do? It was, he used to say this line. What was the movie he was? Oh, no, you won't. It was something like that. But yeah, Charles Bronson, really? Is he that good looking? Or is it a sexy thing? Is it an alpha male thing? Is it the fact that he's protecting women by going and killing these rapists and stuff? What was it about Charles Bronson that did it?
The thing is, sometimes it's just, they've just got it. You don't know what it is, but they've got it. And, you know, because my husband says, what? He's awful looking, you know? And
he's not a classic. No, he's not a classic dreamboat. No.
It's just, he's got it. He's just got it.
Wow.
And, you know, there are others like that, you know?
Pamela, I've talked to you many times and I believe you. I believe that you've got something for Charles Bronson.
I grew up with Charles Bronson, and you know, when he died, it was like shocking because, you know, a lot of the stars, when you're kids, you know, they're older to begin with.
Yes.
So when they die, you're like in shock. Like, no.
You're like, wait a minute, no. Now you started to say there were others like him. So who else? Who else are these other alpha males that just got it?
Oh gosh. Now I should have made a list ahead of time. You know, like James Coburn, to look at him, you know, you wouldn't say he's good looking, right? But he always has something. A man like Flint, whatever series.
Yeah, Our Man Flint. Yeah. Our Man Flint. Yes. Okay, James Coburn.
I mean, look at Mick Jagger. If you saw him in a picture, you would say, you know, but he's got it. You know, he's just got it.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Some people, and I don't think that works so much for women, but I think when it comes to men, it kind of clicks. And, I'm trying to think. You know, Burt Reynolds, I don't really think of him as a sex symbol for me so much.
Right.
I thought he was good looking and everything, but I have fond memories of him because my dad loved that, Smokey and the Bandit movie.
The best.
And, there were only a few times that my dad sat down to watch movies.
Right.
Jaws and Roy Scheider's another one. I like Roy Scheider.
You beat me to it. I got one for you. And this is a guy with a comb over it, but I bet you he's got it for you. Gene Hackman.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Same
exactly.
movie, both in The French Connection.
Absolutely. If you were to look at him in a picture.
Right.
I like that movie when he was on the train with, what's her face? She's another one. She's a good looking woman. Where she was a witness to a murder and he had a protector. I forgot the name of it, but you know, he was really good in that.
Hackman?
Yeah, Gene Hackman was in it. It was one of his later movies, and most of it took place on a train.
Huh.
And the French Connection, it was okay, but I think 7-Ups was better than French Connection.
7-Ups as a New York movie. I mean, this is the second time it's come up on this show in like 2 or 3 weeks. The 7-Ups was, and I was a late bloomer to it. It came up like in a dinner conversation about New York movies, and somebody said, "Oh, you got to see the 7-Ups." And I'd only just met Tony LoBianco, who was a big conservative voice in the show business world here in New York, and that movie is worth finding on wherever you can find it, Prime or YouTube or whatever. Definitely watch the 7-Ups on like a Saturday afternoon. It's fantastic. And you know what else is fun, Pamela, is watching great New York films. And there are so many. This is when the internet is the internet, and it's awesome. So many websites that are dedicated to like filming locations and filming locations then and now. You know what I mean? Like they'll show like Dog Day Afternoon. Oh, is Pacino one of them for you? Nah.
Not really. Strangely enough, not really.
You're bringing out the girl in me, Pamela. Go ahead.
It's like I would probably like there's something about Ed Harris, you know, like you wouldn't.
You are very consistent, Pamela. You have always been one of the most fascinating callers. Ever since you were like, you always have been. You've had fascinating things to say about your local politics, about men wearing shorts and shouldn't wear shorts and jeans and motorcycles. And now this commentary on men is absolutely, because you know why? I get it. And I am as straight as a human man being can be. But I like to think that I have a wide ranging, and I can, I can get what you're saying. And anyway, so there's a great couple of websites, and again, Dog Day Afternoon, that bank that Al Pacino took over, that bank is still there. That building is there. It's now like, I don't know. It's like anything else. It's probably, it's like a dollar store or something. But there's a whole bunch of places like filming locations throughout New York that are still standing, but you gotta kind of squint and look twice, and then but there's great websites that show you side by side pictures, and the 7-Ups is all over a few of them.
Oh, I'll have to look
and
for
the French Connection. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And Tony LoBianco too. He was a good one. There was a certain group. Remember the Cassavetes?
Yep.
The Gazzaras, and they were like a certain group that all came out of the method acting.
Yes.
And some, or they were friends in New York.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman was friends with Dustin Hoffman,
right.
And I forget the other one, but they all hung out together and they all rose together.
Yeah. And I think wait, and who is the we'll have to do this again some other time. But no, but Hackman, he was one charismatic son of a gun. Great. Turned down the role of Mike Brady. Oh,
I remember the name of that movie, Narrow Margin.
Narrow Margin. All right, we'll have to look that up.
And that other, that beautiful woman, she was underrated. She was always somebody's co-star. Like all the top men wanted her in her, but she never really got her just due. She was in a couple of TV series, I think, playing somebody's mother.
What's the name of the movie?
Narrow Margin.
All right,
it's really a good movie.
I'm Googling it.
I don't want to give it away, but it's good. And Gene Hackman is good, and there's excellent train scenes. I love trains.
1990, so it's not. Oh, it's yes, underrated. Anne Archer.
That's it. Anne Archer.
Stunning.
Anne Archer.
I loved Anne Archer, and she played somebody else's wife in some other movie. Oh, all right. I gotta go, Pamela. I gotta take a break. And Tony's giving me I gotta take a break. But wow, memory lane with Pamela. Talking about guys who they just got it. That is a fascinating phone. I love Pamela. All right, gang. 4:32. We shall return. Lo and behold, these phones just blow up when you say certain things. Oh, Dr. Anthony's got one. 4:32. We'll come right back on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, and you on 77 WABC.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
4:35 here on 77 WABC. My thanks to Tony for these these guys earlier when I was talking about this big thing last night, there was the big WABC gala, and there's this big wide WABC family of people, and from day one of walking in here and Chad Lopez and Mr. Katsimatidis and everybody's sort of giving me the keys for a few hours. If it wasn't for Tony and Bill making me feel unbelievably comfortable and knowing that if I slipped, they would grab me before I hit the ground, I never would have gotten this far. These two guys are the best, and I'm so grateful. And just little stuff like that. Just awesome. Just awesome. Anyway, it is 4:36, and you guys, oh, look at this, lighting up the phones, having fun conversation, killing a Saturday morning like this. This is magnificent. Let's see who's been waiting longest. Bob in Northport. Good morning, line 2. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Hey.
I wait for the weekend just for your show. It's great.
That is ridiculously kind. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, so the woman was actually Farrah Fawcett's replacement on Charlie's Angels, but Cheryl Ladd.
Cheryl Ladd. Very, very, that's like the All-American, the blonde,
Yep.
and talking, you know what? Tough
and
shoes.
She was in the bathtub scene on the beginning of that, when they did promo in the beginning.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Bob, where'd Bob go? Come back, Bob. Line 2. There you go, Bob. The bathtubs. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? You got to throw them right into the middle of the lineup. And I guess they did that. But those are she had, big, I don't know, something to fill. She had big shoes to fill, coming in for Farrah.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Now, I disagree, but I agree. That whole thing about the towels, I think you were right. And that's, I think that's more of an OCD thing than, you had a thing that was dripping wet in your hands or whatever.
I know.
And where the hell are the towels?
I know,
you know
but
what I mean?
You know what, Bob? You know what though? I know, but I mean, I know that. And you know that. But do I got it? But do I got, no,
but I don't see that being alcoholism. I think, don't you have a little bit of vent time for yourself,
I guess. I guess. But maybe I gotta pick my moments because, Bob, that wasn't the only moment last week. Maybe the other ones were more important and like this one. I don't know. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We all need to sort of, say what's on our mind every now and then. But you know what? Here's the beauty of it, actually, Bob. This is actually the part B that I didn't mention. None of them gave me any business about it. My wife rolled her eyes. My daughters were like, basically, shut up, So in the end, it wasn't like they were sitting there going, oh my God, sorry, Dad. Or my wife going, TJ, we will try harder. It was not like that. All three of them, in not so many motions, rolled their eyes at me or shrugged or sighed out loud and basically were like, are you done? Which makes them very cool. So actually, I'm glad you brought it up because it reminded me to illustrate that that's how they took it. They were like, all right, enough hot shot. Shut up and quick and dry the frying pan. But thank you for the latitude, Bob. I do appreciate you giving me that room. And don't be a stranger, Bob. Thank you for the kind words. I'm grateful for that. Let's see. Dr. Anthony. Paging Dr. Anthony, line 5. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, TJ. I just want to tell you, I had a horrible 2 days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Going back to work. And listening to you really relaxed me. I'm laughing like crazy.
Oh, nice.
And you really made my blood pressure drop about 20 points.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's true.
Nice.
It's true.
That's very kind of you.
Also, I got to mention my wife. My wife is a beautiful woman, and she handed me a picture of T.J. McCormick. And she said, Melissa said, he's a good-looking guy.
Thank you very much. You know what? I think I'm better looking now than I was 20 years ago.
There you go.
I'm the gift that keeps on giving from my beautiful wife. What can I say?
There you you go.
Thank you. Tell Melissa I say hello, and I send my love and my charms.
Certainly will.
I don't even know. Anyway, go ahead. So what was that? So who's on your list there, Doc?
Well, I had a crush since Viva Las Vegas when I saw Anne Margaret and Elvis Presley perform. Yeah. She's such a beautiful woman.
You ever see those clips of her? Remember when she got on the Tonight Show and flirt with John? Ooh, listen to that extended S in the yes, right?
Absolutely.
She flirted the daylights out of Johnny Carson.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw in also Priscilla Presley. She's also a very beautiful woman.
Very beautiful woman. Very beautiful. Tough life. She's had a few ups and downs in her day, huh?
Yeah. She made 54 movies, believe it or not.
She really?
Yes.
Priscilla Presley. Wow. Can you believe the kid died? Isn't that terrible, Lisa Marie?
Oh, God. I still don't fully understand that. I read her biography, and I still don't understand how this happened.
Weird, right? Weird. Well, listen, thank you, Dr. Anthony. And your wife is very, very kind, and she has spectacular taste. Thank you, buddy. Tell Melissa I say hi. It's 4:42 here on Another Side of Midnight. You know what? It is what it is. We've got our crushes. And, I'm wondering too, if there was, if the big screen crush was, how do I put it? If you had any like wild cards that were not your type at all, but just for some reason, just did it for you, right? Like just not your type at all. And even in real life, by the way, I'm talking, you can tell, it doesn't have to be the big screen crushes too. If you had, if there was somebody in high school, like some crunchy granola, hippie type that just, in a million years, you never would have looked twice, but just something. There's always, you know what I mean? There's always, Anyway, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, we'll be back here in our usual time. And, we're gonna, talk a little bit more about some of this RFK stuff, by the way. We're gonna talk little RFK and his revelations that are not so much vax related, but Tylenol related. And do you know that now we're hearing from experts that sea levels are not up? Sea levels are not up. And we're not going to talk about sea levels. We're going to talk about the lies from the left. This is all part of the winning that I think the whole Trump thing is all about. This is part of the winning. We're winning. We're getting the truth out there. Now, in other parts of the world, talking about truth and getting out there and did you see earlier this week in the UK, a famous British comedy writer who, God forbid, was standing up for women and girls and their rights of privacy and their rights to succeed in sport? Guy put out 3 tweets in April. He lives in Canada now. Lives in Arizona, lives in the States. Went to the UK this week, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, gets off the plane at Heathrow in London, arrested, taken into custody. And his trial, for all intents and purposes, started like right away. And took him away in cuffs. Armed cops, which in England is not typical. Because he put out 3 tweets criticizing a trans activist in April. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break here. That's all tomorrow. Taking a quick break here, 4:45 in the morning on 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
That's great stuff. That's a live recording from the current tour of Oasis, and that's an incredible moment and in the concert, and it's just brilliant, and it's totally a selfish request. So thank you, Tone. I needed that. All right, it's 4:50. My wife is awake. The bombshell is awake, and she is listening, and she chimed in with her underrated pick, and it is the actor, Cillian Murphy. Thomas Shelby also played Oppenheimer in the film. Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. That is that guy. All that guy has to do is sort of, I don't know, just stand there. And my wife just knees buckle, and she's like, yes. And that's it. It is 4:50, so let's rip through these. Let's get to people who have been waiting. And let's get to, Patrick, I could not agree more. Patrick in Jersey.
Hey, TJ, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course. Thank you for calling.
I totally, my friend, agree with Sydney, what's her name, Sydney Sweeney?
Yes. Yep, Sydney.
Beautiful young woman.
Stunning.
But everybody's forgetting, okay, Sydney Sweeney looks good in jeans, but no one puts a better pair of jeans on like Daisy Dukes, like Kathleen Black, I think, from the Dukes of Hazzard, my friend.
Absolutely beyond, and especially in the fun-loving sitcom in the 80s, and it was, just, it is, I mean, she was what she was. The character was the character. The hair. Amazing. The hair, the thumbs in the belt loops, right? I mean, yeah. And I think, eye candy for the girls too, right? With the Duke boys.
Yeah. Well, that's where the term Daisy Dukes came from. Right. And I think they should put the term Daisy Dukes in the dictionary. My personal
You know what? It's got to already be there. Did you look? It's got to be. That pop culture dictionary that they do? It's got to be. Daisy Dukes has got to be in the... Somebody look it up. Patrick, it's got to be in there.
It's got to be in there, and that's where the term came from, my friend. You know what I mean?
Totally. Oh, I know.
Listen, wow. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for waiting.
Man, but she was my dream go-to girl back when I was a young man.
Yep, and I know there's plenty of women out there digging the Duke boys. Thank you, buddy. I do appreciate it. And let's get to where are we here? Let's see. Pete in Staten Island, real quick. Pete, we're going to try to rip through and get to everybody on hold. Pete, good morning, buddy boy. Celeb crushes.
Okay, I'll go quick on this.
Yeah.
From The State of Grace with Sean Penn. I don't know if you saw that movie about the Westbys.
Okay.
Well, the girl that was the sister. In real life, she went on to become a doctor, a neurologist, and she actually. My wife and I went to see her, and I knew she was from the West Side and everything, and she actually helped my wife very much with her Parkinson's medication. My wife hardly shakes; people don't even know she has it. So it's just funny how people go on as an actress. Everybody knows it because she did like 6 or 7
What's her name?
nude scenes with
all right,
Sean
okay.
Penn.
What's the name?
Well, her name is Claire. I don't want to say it. Well, I don't want to say her last name. She's a doctor now. But she was the actual sister of one of the Westbys.
Of one of the, wow. So the West Side, the gangs, right? Wow. Oh, fascinating stuff. Thanks, Pete, and thanks for hanging in there for so long. I do appreciate it. Let's see. Mike in South Carolina. Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy?
Hello, TJ.
Hey.
That was my friend. We heard each other many times on the radio, Pete from Staten Island. When I drove up third week in July, I got another friend in Staten Island. I was hanging with Pete.
Oh, and nice.
Yeah. You're talking about movies. I woke up a little while ago. Yeah. I was an extra in Bronx Tale. I was an extra in Mickey Blue Eyes.
Really?
Born on the 4th of July. And my first one, I just missed out. But that was one of the best movies, The Pope of Greenwich Village. They took my thumb, Charlie. They took my thumb.
They took my thumb. Wow. And you know what? And that's one of the movies I have not seen The Pope of Greenwich Village. I still haven't seen that film. Can you believe that? I haven't seen it. I don't think I should be allowed on the radio until I see that film. It's like how I shouldn't be allowed in public. I know I've got to see that.
Oh, that's a rim shot. I will give a rip shot in a second before. I don't want to hold you up. You're at the end of your show. TJ,
yes.
You're a joy to listen to on the radio.
You're very kind. Good night. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, buddy boy. He's a good guy. 4:55. It's another side of midnight. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have another good, fantastic 3 hours with all y'all and us and Bill and Tony. And we're going to be talking again. There's a bunch of stuff I want to hit. Including, we're winning by getting out the truth about a lot of things and, including, are these sea levels even right? The truth is starting to come out about the global warming joke. Yeah, it is. All right. So let's see. Let's wind up our calls for tonight. Let's get over to Jesus in Queens. Big screen crushes. Go on, Jesus.
Yeah, but these guys they don't remember those old time movies. Like Ingrid Bergman.
Ingrid Bergman, okay. All right.
Myrna Loy, the Thin Man series.
Sure.
She was a beautiful woman.
I'm trying to think. Myrna
Loy, the Thin Man movie.
I know.
William Powell.
Yep. And there's also, well, look, you know what? You know who never came up? This is amazing. Nobody tonight said Marilyn Monroe. Isn't that interesting? Nobody said Marilyn Monroe. And I mean, maybe the original, well, no, I mean, Mae West, I don't think was a beauty. She was just like this bodacious broad who could just deliver a line and, be all whatever. But, Betty Grable. She had the pinup girl. Marilyn, nobody said Marilyn tonight. And I mean, what generation, happy birthday, Mr. President, right? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, buddy boy. Tom on Long Island. Oh, okay. All right. Got a couple of non-screen crushes, unless he's got something for Cuomo. Go ahead, Tom.
Hi, TJ. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of bumper stickers that say Cuomo for dog catcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Cuomo for dog catcher. You think he's got a future in that?
I hope not. Isn't he a felon?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, he's never been. I mean, well, you and I both know he's, a dirty dog. But is he a felon? Nah. Convicted? No, I don't think so. Not yet. But he could be. He should have been. Right? Tommy, thank you, buddy. Thank you. We got another minute or so. Richie, you've been waiting forever and ever. And I'm sorry that you waited so damn long. Here you are. Good morning. Welcome to the show. The New York City mayoral race.
Let me wrap this up.
Yep.
I'm sorry for him because there's only one TJ. This guy, Madani, is a product of the 65 Immigration Act. They don't talk about it because the establishment is in control of the joint. And they're worried about AI and artificial intelligence. Third world's going to destroy this place. It's not going to be high tech. It's going to be these low-life third worlders destroying the joint.
You think, huh? Well, look, I mean, there is something to be said about these subversives and look at Europe. Look at what's happened to London. Look at what's happened to Brussels and Paris. And it's not right. It's not AI and it's not technology. It's good old fashioned grooming of women and children, of migrants not assimilating into a society. It's a loss of identity, a loss of culture, a loss of language, and an uptick in really anti-Semitism and anti-Israel and anti-Jewish hate and violence. And Sharia law, right, Richie?
Oh, definitely. That clown mayor out in London. Mm-hmm. I want Trump to talk about what's going on in Ireland. Ireland's being invaded. It's a small little island. It could be overwhelmed so easily.
Yeah. Richie, you're so right. There's a bunch of Twitter feeds about Ireland and the state of Ireland in the country of Ireland. Gang, thank you so much. I had no idea where the show was going to go, and that usually means a great one. And you guys made it great. You made it great. Tony and Bill supporting every step of the way. I'm grateful. Everybody, have a wonderful Saturday. Looking forward to tomorrow night. We'll have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about Sunday morning. Until then, I wish you all the luck.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC.